The Amorites, Amurru to the Akkadians, were a Semitic-speaking people who emerged from the Euphrates Island, also known as Al Jazeera, and steppe regions of ancient Syria and Iraq, around the end of the 3rd millennium BC. For centuries, they were known as nomadic herders and tribal confederations that lived west of the Euphrates, often skirting the boundaries of Mesopotamian kingdoms. To the Sumerians and Akkadians, the Amorites were portrayed as foreigners, uncivilized nomads who did not know cities. In cuneiform literature, they were often criticized for lacking proper temples or organized kingship. But this perception would soon change. By the early 2nd millennium BC, Amorite tribes had begun to settle throughout Mesopotamia, from northern Syria to southern Iraq. They integrated into existing city-states and even rose to power within them. Major Amorite-led cities included Mari, Yamkad, Aleppo, Qatna, and Tutul in Syria, and in Iraq, Isin, Larsa, Eshnunna, and eventually Babylon. Powerful Amorite kings ruled these cities. Zimri-Lim and Mari built grand palaces and maintained vast diplomatic networks, while Hammurabi, perhaps the most famous Amorite of all, rose to unify much of Mesopotamia under Babylon. Despite their foreign origins, the Amorites quickly adopted the Akkadian language for administration and diplomacy. They also preserved and transmitted Sumerian literature, maintaining the legacy of epics, hymns, and law codes like those of Ur-Nammu and Lipit Ishtar. In southern Mesopotamia, a major conflict defined the early Amorite period, the Isin-Larsa War. After the fall of Ur-III, both cities vied to control the sacred city of Nippur and claim the legacy of Sumer. Isin, ruled by descendants of Ur-III officials, claimed traditional authority and religious continuity. Larsa, under Amorite dynasts like Gungunum and Rim-Sin I, gained the upper hand through military expansion and control of trade. Elamite forces from the Iranian plateau frequently played a role, sometimes allied with Larsa, sometimes exploiting the chaos for raids and tribute. Its first significant ruler, Sumu Abum, founded the dynasty around 1894 BCE. Under Amorite leadership, Babylon was built with monumental temples, orderly canals, and fortified walls. It absorbed the best of Sumerian tradition and Akkadian administration, creating a new Mesopotamian identity. The Amorites, once desert outsiders, became kings, lawgivers, and cultural bridge builders. Through conflict, adaptation, and vision, they laid the foundation for the Babylonian civilization that would shape history for centuries. But let's focus now on the defining conflict of the era, the Larsa-Isin War. For over a century, these two city-states fought over religious legitimacy. But the turning point came with a series of decisive campaigns by Rim-Sin I, who launched an aggressive military campaign that lasted over 30 years. He eventually defeated Isin around 1794 BC, capturing the city and absorbing its power. This ended the long-standing rivalry and made Larsa the dominant force in southern Mesopotamia. But even after this victory, power remained fragile. The land was still fractured, its cities locked in cycles of ambition, betrayal, and invasion. Will this chaos and fragmentation forever define the fate of ancient Iraq? Let's find out in the next episode.